Look at this face. No, really, look at it. Do you even recognize the man staring back at you from the cracked, salt-stained mirror of a prestigious Manhattan office bathroom? You're 32 years old, but your skin has taken on the grayish, waxy hue of a tombstone. Your eyes aren't just tired. They are a vivid, terrifying roadmap of burst capillaries. A jagged red cartography of every hour you didn't sleep, every trade you chased into the dawn, and every panic attack you choked down in this very stall. You smell like a sickening chemical cocktail. $3 street coffee mixed with stale double espressos, expensive Italian wool soaked in the cold, acidic sweat of a market crash, and the faint metallic tang of the nosebleed you had 10 minutes ago. Your hands are shaking so violently, you can barely button your $800 shirt. It's not the caffeine anymore. You've built a wall of tolerance to that years ago. It's the cortisol. It's the raw, unadulterated electricity of the system surging through your nervous system. You stand in a bathroom stall that costs more per square foot than your parents' entire house in Ohio, and you realize with a sudden, gut-wrenching clarity that you can't remember the last time you felt the actual sun on your skin. You've lived under the hum of fluorescent lights and the flicker of Bloomberg terminals for so long that the natural world feels like a hallucination. You are a Wall Street trader, and this is your entire life. You think you're a player? You think you're the master of the universe because you carry a titanium card and fly first class to London on a whim. No, you are nothing but a biological component. You are a carbon-based processor for a massive, uncaring machine of high-frequency trading that doesn't even know your name. The machine doesn't want your talent. It wants your vitality. The price of your entry into this world wasn't your Ivy League degree or your 160 IQ. The price was your sanity. The price was the ability to feel a heartbeat that isn't perfectly synchronized with the fluctuating volatility of the NASDAQ. Every dollar you've earned was stolen from your own future. Every win on the floor was a mortgage on your nervous system. You sold your 20-somethings for a digital number on a screen, and now that you finally have that number, you realized the currency you paid with, time, is the only thing the market will never allow you to trade back. Close your eyes and try to go back. 2014. Try to remember the boy who hadn't been hollowed out yet. You were the golden boy. You had a girl named Sarah who looked at you like you were a hero, not a paycheck. You promised her that you'd just go to the city for 5 years. 5 years of the grind, Sarah, and then we retire. We'll buy that house by the lake. We'll have the kids. I'll be a father who's actually there for dinner. You were so incredibly, dangerously naive. You thought you could walk into the mouth of the beast, grab the gold, and walk out before the jaws snapped shut. You didn't realize that the beast doesn't just eat your money, it eats your will to leave. You stayed for the first 6-figure bonus, then the second, then the VP promotion. And slowly, Sarah's calls started going to voicemail. Not because you didn't love her, but because the opening bell in Tokyo was more urgent than the sound of her voice. You chose the red and green candles over the woman who knew your soul. And the worst part? You'd do it again for another 50 basis points. Do you remember the first time you stayed until 4:30 a.m. to fix a catastrophic error in the overnight books? Your boss, a man with teeth like a shark and a soul like a spreadsheet, put his heavy, gold-ringed hand on your shoulder. He didn't offer you a day off or a thank you. He reached into his desk and offered you a small, unmarked blue pill. "This will keep the fog away, kid," he whispered with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. That was your ritual. That was the moment of the first real lie. The first time you cheated your own biology to serve the P&L statement. You swallowed the pill, and suddenly, the world became hyper-real. The numbers on the screen began to glow with a divine light. You felt like a god. You felt like you could see the future hidden in the flickering 1-minute charts. That night, you didn't go home. You slept on the office floor, your head resting on a stack of research papers, dreaming of algorithms. You traded your humanity for edge. You became a predator. But the thing about predators on Wall Street is that there is always a bigger fish, and you were just being fattened up for a slaughter you couldn't see coming. By 2021, the illusion of success was complete. You owned a penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Central Park, but you only ever saw it at 3 in the morning, when the park looked like a dark, bottomless abyss. You bought a Ferrari you never had the energy to drive. You wore a Patek Philippe that told you exactly how many seconds of your irreplaceable life were being wasted in meetings about collateralized debt obligations. The dopamine was intoxicating. You were the rainmaker. People whispered your name in the elevators with a mix of envy and fear. You felt the godlike power of moving global markets with a single keystroke. But look closer at the success. Look at your phone. You have 400 contacts, and not a single one would show up to your funeral if you weren't holding their portfolio. You go to parties where the champagne costs more than a nurse's monthly salary, but it tastes like ash because you're checking your terminal under the table every 90 seconds. Your success is a hollow, gold-plated shell. You are a millionaire who counts his wealth in the things he has lost. You lost your physical health. Your stomach is a burning mess of ulcers, and your hair is retreating from the battlefield of your scalp. You lost your family. Your father died while you were in a must-win negotiation, and you didn't find out until 6 hours later, because your phone was in a lead-lined locker for security. By the time you called, he was already cold. And Sarah? Sarah is married to a man who works as a high school history teacher. He doesn't own a $5,000 suit. He doesn't know what a short squeeze is. But he is home by 6 o'clock every single night to hold her hand. And that thought burns in your chest worse than any market crash ever could. The system is not your friend. It never was. You thought you were the one using the corporation, using the connections, using the prestige of the firm to climb the social ladder. But the corporation was using you like a high-speed fiber optic cable. It ran its searing data through your brain until the insulation melted, until your synapses began to fray, until there was nothing left but a burnt-out husk. The system loves victims, but it especially loves the victims of success, the men who cry into their $300 silk ties because they know they can't leave. Where would you go? You've forgotten how to be a person. You only know how to be a position. You are long on misery and short on hope, and the market knows it. Look at the clock. It's 4:15 a.m. The janitor is the only one who sees you sitting at your desk, head in your hands. He thinks you're a king because of the view from your window. He doesn't know that your suit is the only thing keeping your body from physically falling apart. Your heart skips a beat, not from excitement or the thrill of the chase, but from a permanent state of tachycardia. This is the physiological naturalism of your decay. Your vision blurs when you look at the green text. Your teeth are grinding down to the nerves because of the subconscious stress you carry, even in your 4 hours of fitful sleep. This is the 18-plus version of the American dream. It's not a white picket fence and a golden retriever. It's a white line of powder in a marble bathroom stall and a resting heart rate of 140 beats per minute while you're sitting perfectly still in a climate-controlled room. The most painful trigger isn't the money you lost, it's the time you'll never see again. You spent 90% of your waking hours for the last decade staring at a glowing rectangle. You spent less than 5% of your life with the people who actually loved you for who you were, not for what you could buy them. Your own mother calls you sir on the phone sometimes because you sound so cold, so distant, so professional. You told yourself you were working for your family, but in the end, you became a ghost to them. Your nephews don't even know your middle name. They just know you're the rich uncle who sends expensive plastic toys from Amazon instead of showing up for Christmas. They call someone else for help. They look at someone else when they need a hero. You are just a bank account with a pulse. And then comes the nostalgia for the unlived. It hits you when the office is quiet and the hum of the air conditioning feels like a scream. You could have been an architect. Do you remember how much you loved drawing as a kid? You could have built bridges that lasted 100 years, things people could touch, things that mattered. Instead, you built synthetic financial products that disappeared into thin air during the first liquidity crisis. You could have been a doctor, literally pulling people back from the edge. Instead, you spent your life betting on how many people would lose their homes when the interest rates spiked. The weight of what you could have been is heavier than all the gold in your imaginary vault. You are a titan of industry who realized, too late, that he built his empire on a foundation of ash. Let's do the final tally. Let's look at the statistics of your win. Years lived, 32. Years truly experienced, maybe 4. Time spent staring at a screen, 78,000 hours. Time spent in a state of pure, unadulterated terror, 85% of your career. Number of people you can call at 4 a.m. who aren't on your payroll, 0. Current bank balance, $12,400,000. Value of your soul in the current market, $0. You are a Wall Street trader. You followed every rule. You won the game. You climbed the mountain and stood at the very top. So why does it feel like you're the only one who lost everything? The ticker doesn't stop for your grief. The world keeps trading. The algorithms keep executing. And the numbers keep scrolling. And tomorrow morning, at exactly 6:30 a.m., a 22-year-old kid with a bright smile, a sharp suit, and a heart full of ambition will walk through those revolving doors to take your seat. He thinks he's going to be the exception. He thinks he's going to beat the system. And the machine will smile, open its jaws, and prepare to eat him alive, just like it did to you. Your trade is closed. Your position is liquidated. You are free to go. But you have nowhere left to go. Welcome to the end of the dream.